Good evening, everyone. Hope everyone's well. And that they've had a good weekend. That you're all enjoying. We're already halfway through the week. Yay! Oh boy, what's happening here now? Yeah, there we go. Got it. Oh, I really need a new PC. Can't afford one, but anyway. Tonight, I want to talk about something that's very close to my heart, something that I experienced firsthand. Okay. A very dear friend of mine, she was an elderly lady. Her youngest daughter, I think it was the youngest daughter, committed suicide in her home. And it was the daughter that she was the closest to. Okay. She had two daughters born to her late in life, difficult pregnancies. I mean, she spent virtually 7 months of each pregnancy complete bed rest. So, I mean, nothing was terribly easy. And this daughter had problems. I'm not going to reveal those problems because I don't have the right to. Okay. She had a few problems. And they tried, her mum and dad tried everything to help her, but nothing seemed to work. Okay. And one day, she took her own life. Her mother thought there was something wrong, okay, and the father went to go and check, and I think it was the other daughter's boyfriend or a friend of the family was there and went up with the father, and they had to break the bedroom door down, and she was already gone. And it must have been about 6-7 months after that happened that I actually met her. My husband met them before, okay, because he'd done work for the father, okay, and he'd met them before. And I think my daughter knew the eldest daughter. So there was a connection there already, okay? I just didn't know them. And eventually I met them, all right? And over the course of time, the whole story came out. And it's something I want people that are thinking of committing suicide. It's something that I would love them to be able to conscious of. Is the aftermath, the hopelessness and powerlessness of the people that are left behind, especially if it's a parent or parents. Okay. I saw the old man really go through an awful, awful time. He never really came out of it. Okay. The mum she died internally. I mean, when I met her, the eldest daughter, was having a very bad time of trying to connect with her, okay? But she was in such a shut down state that she couldn't. And it caused a lot of problems, okay? It was, you know, as an outsider, okay, and just a friend, okay, I was a pretty close friend, all right? Because once I realized just how bad she was, I made sure that I was always available for her. I made sure that I spent a lot of time with her, okay? And then when I picked up the friction that was going on between the daughter and her, I mean, the daughter was not that much younger than me, okay, at that time. And her and I were friends. We enjoyed each other, okay? But she was all over the place. I mean, it's not just the parents that suffer. She had a sister who she loved, okay, who she adored, who she'd spent time with, who she tried to help during this battle that the sister was having, okay. And she was left there, and now she had two parents that were grieving, okay. She was also grieving, but she had to try and keep strong for the parents because they were elderly. They weren't young. Okay. And she also had to try and sort her own self out, to try and understand. You see, this is the thing, all right? The effect it has on the people that are left behind is life lasting, because they don't understand. You can't. How can you understand that your child made the choice of taking their own life, okay, without reaching out, or the ones left behind? I mean, I can remember my friend and her daughter and the old man too, because I became kind of close to the old man as well, okay? And the things that would come up time and time and time again, you know, it was like a stuck record. It just kept on repeating. What did I miss? Why didn't I see it? What if I had gone up to her room 10 minutes earlier when I'd thought about it and I thought, no, I don't want to intervene? What if I hadn't done something? What if I had done something? Was there something she said that I could have realized? Didn't she love us? That she could have come to us and spoken to us? We would have moved heaven and earth to get her help, okay? Why did she do it? All these things. And it goes, I'll tell you something, okay? I was still friends with her 15 years later. And, well, with the family, okay? Those questions never changed, and they never stopped. And really, if you are contemplating suicide, look at your family and realize the pain and the hurt that you are going to cause them that will never, ever, ever go away. Never. Please find a way of communicating to somebody to get help. Because you know what? There is help for you. There is no need for you to feel helpless because there is help for you. There is help. There is no need to feel helpless or to feel hopeless. The people that love you will help and find help for you and support you. There is nothing that is hopeless enough for you to end your life. You end your life, okay? You gone. Your pain and everything is over. The people that you leave behind start a journey that has no end. And it is the most painful, the most desolate journey for those that loved you to take. It has, I don't want to sound dramatic, but it has a devastating effect on those that you leave behind, those that loved you, or those that love you. This lady, the old man buried himself in alcohol. He'd only drink after 6 in the evening, but he would drink at home, not in a bar, at home, but he would drink. And the old lady knew that after 6 o'clock in the evening, she couldn't count on her husband because he'd be drunk. I mean, not just a couple of drinks. I mean, drunk till he was motherless. There are times that my husband and I had to help him up the stairs to go to bed because he wouldn't have made it. There are times that she would phone us, okay, at 2, 3 o'clock in the morning. Please, can you come and wake him up and get him upstairs? I can't do it because he was a big man, okay. And then there are times he'd phone me, even though he was okay. He'd phone me 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning. Please come help my wife. She is talking about joining her daughter. She's whatever, fighting with the other. She's just sitting, crying, whatever it was, okay. And I'd go there. And you know, there are times that I used to feel so helpless because I don't know the pain. I haven't been through that experience, okay. Thank you, Lord, okay, that I haven't. I can imagine, maybe, but even then, even the imagination can't fully grasp the complete and utter pain of it. You know, I think it affects a mother worse than it affects a father in a way, because the mother has carried that baby in her body. So that child becomes a part of her, okay? And this lady, you know, I I could get her to smile sometimes. Sometimes she'd laugh, okay? They had a business and she'd put on a show for clients, all right? But if you looked in her eyes, they were dead. There was nothing there. They were dead. And she was almost like a zombie. Cook supper, make sure the house was clean, make sure the ironing was done, make sure everybody was fed, make sure blah, 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 all this kind of business. But it was like she was on automatic pilot. And she really, because then she was frightened that something was going to happen to the eldest daughter. So she cut herself off from the eldest daughter too. Not cut herself off, but she closed herself off. She made sure that she had everything she needed. She made sure that, you know, all that kind of business. But to go up and put her arms around the daughter and tell her that she loved her or anything like that, okay, no, there was distance. And the daughter felt it. And she, well, I mean, she'd grown up with her mother all her life. She knew what her mother was like, okay? And now she had to deal with this zombie. And she was so lost. So lost, okay? And it was very difficult to try and get them to connect. And even then, after many, many years, that connection, that complete connection still wasn't there. I mean, I ended up, the daughter ended up on a weird vibe, okay? And suddenly I didn't fit into this, relationship, okay, because I wasn't snobby enough or I wasn't whatever, okay. And then she thought that my friendship was only because of the mother's money, because the father passed away, okay. And then she thought that I was only going to be friends with the mother to try and get her money out of her. In all the 15 years that I was friends with her, okay, I never took anything from her because that wasn't what, that's not how I am. I'm friends with you because I enjoy who you are, not what you have or what you can give me, okay? Because I don't want what you've got in material stuff, okay? That's yours. It's got nothing to do with me. And I'm not looking at that. I'm looking at the person that you are and what comes out your mouth, okay? And what comes out your heart. That's what I'm worried about. That's what interests me or attracts me to strike up a friendship, okay? But the daughter went off on this weird, she got a very good job, okay? Started earning a lot of money and became, I don't know, maybe she was always like that. I don't know. So it was just impossible. She made it impossible for us to go and visit the mum after the dad had died. There were all kinds of excuses. I tried 2 or 3 times, okay, and all these excuses came out. So I just gave up. All right. I'm not, it upset me because I really enjoyed the old lady and I felt that she needed somebody there, okay, that had been there all the time, okay, and kind of understood her, all right. I mean, at one stage she was kind of afraid of the daughter and what the daughter might do if the father, when the father passed away, okay, that the daughter might stick her in an old age home or something, okay. So she was a little bit afraid of that. And also the daughter could get very snurpy. Okay. And it hurt the mum. The mum was, you know, she was a tiny little lady, and she'd do anything for her daughter. Anything. And the daughter would actually kind of trample all over her and be very, very rude to her. Okay. And there were times that I had to step in and say, hey, listen, little girl, you know, kind of wind your neck in. That's not cool how you've spoken to your mum. Okay. But you see, this all stemmed from the youngest daughter taking her life. It was fear. It was fear of it happening again, and she would have to deal with it again. So she kept her daughter at a distance. That didn't mean, like an emotional distance in a way. Okay. Yes, there were things that the daughter eventually had a child. Okay. And that thrilled her to the moon and back. Okay. But then the daughter sort of used the child to get at the mum. It became a kind of yucky situation. Okay. And I had to be careful because I couldn't jump in and sort of throw my weight around. So I sometimes I just keep quiet. And then when the daughter had left, okay, then I'd pick up the pieces of the mother and put her back together again. And those times were really rough for her because she just wanted to give up. She really wanted to give up. She didn't want to live anymore. It was enough. Okay. She was still asking why. Why did she take her life? Wasn't I a good mother? Didn't I love her enough? Did I say something? Did I not do something? Did I do something? Those questions never stopped being asked. Okay? Never stopped being asked. And it didn't matter how many times she asked, I answered the same way I answered each time. And you could see in her facial expressions, in her eyes, okay, that the answers meant nothing. Absolutely nothing. Because they didn't satisfy. And the only thing that would have satisfied was if her daughter was there. And that I couldn't provide. Couldn't provide it. So please, people, if you're contemplating suicide, don't do it. Reach out, please reach out for help. And to anybody that has got somebody in their family that they think, just a tiny thought, oops, what's wrong? Could this person be suicidal? Even if they aren't, and they accuse you of overreacting, you know what? I'd rather be accused of overreacting than later have to deal with what if. But please, people, please think about the people that you leave that you are going to leave behind. Think about the pain and the hurt and the confusion. They are so confused because nothing makes sense. And they blame themselves automatically. And they never get over it. Never. Never, I can tell you that, get over it. Some people find a way to deal with it. Some people go to counseling and it helps. This lady and her daughter and the husband went to counseling over the course of years. It never helped, okay? For some reason, it just didn't help. I'm going to be dramatic. The devastation that's left behind never heals. They never get to a place where they're at peace. They might say it with their mouths, but inside, no, they're not. Because it's a hole that has no end. It has no answer. It has no clarity. Okay, it's just confusion and pain and never-ending questions that have no answers. There are no answers. But the questions are asked because the questions are there, because they don't go away, because there is no way of making them go away. So please, please, if you are contemplating suicide, please, whether you've been bullied, whether you've suffering from depression, whatever it is, please reach out. There are so many organizations and Samaritans and all this kind of thing where people are ready to help. And if you have a tiny inkling that somebody might in your family or in your friend circle might be contemplating suicide through bullying, through whatever, don't keep quiet. Rather make a ruckus about something that isn't there than keep quiet and you end up at somebody's funeral and that's the end of it. And that's where the devastation now sets in. Nobody's worthless. Nobody. It doesn't matter who you are. You can be the lowest person on this earth. You are worthy. You are worthy of being loved. You are worthy of being helped. You are worthy of being uplifted and supported. And there is no pain that, I'm talking about emotional pain, okay, that is worth taking your life for. Please, please, don't do it. Reach out. Reach out. Ask for help. Ask. It's asking for help won't kill you. Keeping quiet will kill you. And it'll kill the people around you, those people that love you. It'll kill them as well. Emotionally, maybe not physically, but emotionally, it will kill them. So keeping silent will kill you. Reach out. And to those around, don't be afraid to overstep the line. Don't be afraid to be proved wrong. Get involved. Draw attention to what is happening to that person. Don't stand on the sidelines, please. Because when that person does what they want to do, you're going to be left thinking, if only I had said something. If only I had done this, or if only. If onlys mean nothing. The person's gone. So don't live with that if. If you feel that something is not right, act on that feeling. If you're proved wrong, tough. It doesn't matter. Praise the Lord. Thank heavens. But just think of it this way. If one time out of 100 you proved right, you've saved a life. And you saved all that hurt and that pain and that devastation to a family, to friends. So please, think about it. Reach out. Get involved. Make a mistake. Doesn't matter. But get involved and take time to listen. Take time to listen. Because once that person has committed suicide, you'll have all the time in the world and no one to listen to. And please think about the people you leave behind. Please. And reach out. Get help. Anyway, it's just my thought. May your gods go with you. May you have a peaceful rest of your week and weekend. And don't forget, help someone up. Okay. Night, night.